What you won't ever catch a secure woman doing is abandoning herself for love. So today is all about moving from self abandonment to secure alignment. But first, if you are new here, I'm Vanetta, and welcome back to Awaken Her Now, where I help women do the inner work to heal anxious attachment, embody feminine energy, and awaken the best versions of themselves. So do me a favor, go ahead and hit like and subscribe and join this beautiful, thriving community of sisterhood and women determined to be our best selves. Now, let me just say as we jump into this video that the worst thing a woman can do in relationships is abandon herself. This is something women have to be mindful of because women are conditioned to prioritize others above and over themselves. And this is because we live in a patriarchal and misogynistic society. And I know I say this every week, but we do. Women are conditioned to believe that everyone else's needs come before their own. This is how we are conditioned. We are conditioned to prioritize ourselves at the bottom of the list in our own lives. And this is why it is so easy for women to self-abandon when we get into relationships. And I talk about patriarchy and misogyny all the time because it is not our fault that we are conditioned and socialized to be this way. But it is 100% our responsibility to heal and to undo the conditioning. So I want to start this video because I think it's really perfectly aligned. I want to start this video with a favorite quote of mine by Dr. Howard Thurman. And Dr. Howard Thurman says, "If you don't follow the sound of the genuine in you, you will all your life spend your days on the ends of strings that other people pull." Now, I'm going to say it one more time because I love this quote and I want it to sink into you, into your mind. If you don't follow the sound of the genuine in you, you will all your life spend your days on the ends of strings that other people pull. And I don't want that for you. So in this video, what I'm going to do is I'm going to share with you a few signs of what self-abandonment looks like, because some people don't know they're abandoning themselves when they get in relationships, because again, we were conditioned to believe that this person we're in relationship comes before us, their needs come before ours. And so I'm going to share with you some signs of what it looks like so you can see if you are abandoning yourself in a relationship. Another thing I'm going to share with you is some reasons why we self-abandon, because for me, many of you, I've talked about it in every video, know that I've struggled with anxious attachment. I had to heal out of it. And there are a whole lot of reasons that are also connected to anxious attachment, which are the reasons we self-abandon. Living in a patriarchal and a misogynistic society aren't the only reasons we self-abandon. We have some other reasons. Third thing I am going to share with you is some practical tools, some things you can practice every day that will help you to stop abandoning yourself, especially when you get into relationships. Now, what I do want to say, like I say in every video, is that everything that I share in this video is something that I've lived through, I've experienced in my own dating life. I was the queen of self-abandonment because, again, I struggled with anxious attachment. And so this is not me sharing something of what I heard. This is firsthand experience, like I share in all of my videos. I don't mind being vulnerable, sharing my mistakes, sharing how I chased behind relationships and chased behind love and how I try to prove that I was worthy of love. I did all the things. And I am vulnerable in these videos because I know I'm not alone. And I wish someone had told me sooner, or I wish I had figured out sooner that I was abandoning myself, that I was not showing up in my full worth, that I didn't know I had intrinsic value, or I didn't act like it. And so videos like this, I think, help women the most when you can see that somebody has been where you are and they are trying to help you, and they give you some breadcrumbs to help lead you to your own healing journey. That's me. That is what Awaken Her Now is about. I am here to help women awaken to some things that we might not be mindful of, that we are sabotaging in our own love lives, our professional lives, and I want to help in that way. So if I have to be vulnerable and share my wounds and share my scars, by all means, let me do that. Now, the first thing I'm going to jump into is what self-abandonment looks like. And I'm just going to rapidly go through this list of things that I have so that maybe you can identify with some of them. So self-abandonment looks like looking for or needing validation from other people. Self-abandonment also looks like performing for the approval of someone. Okay. Self-abandonment can also look like over investing in what other people think and believe about you. Self-abandonment also looks like you being afraid to be your authentic self. Another way we can identify self-abandonment is when you hide your true beliefs and values to fit in or to keep the peace. If you are hiding your true authenticity or you're hiding anything about yourself to fit into a group or to keep peace in your relationship, you are abandoning yourself. Another way that self-abandonment shows up and what it looks like is you saying yes when you want to say no. Anytime someone calls you on the phone and says, hey, can you do this? And you had a whole nother plan for yourself for that day, and you say yes, even though you wanted to say no, you're abandoning yourself. All of these are signs that you are willing to shrink, to be small, and to not show up fully for yourself. This is what it looks like. So what I want you to do first is go through that list again. Do you need external validation from other people? Are you performing for approval? Are you over investing in what people think about you? Do you fear being your authentic self? Are you hiding your true values and beliefs to fit in or to keep the peace? Are you, I don't even know if I said this one, but this one is huge, silencing your voice. I'm so glad I did this review of those things, because silencing your voice is a huge indicator that you are abandoning yourself. If you're scared to speak up for yourself. If you're scared to speak your opinions, that is a clear sign of self-abandonment. And so, and the last one, of course, is saying yes when you mean no. And again, all of these are signs that you are playing small, that you are shrinking for other people, and you are not fully showing up for yourself. Now, I want to get into some reasons why we self-abandon. And for me, the reason why I abandoned myself often and all the time was because I wasn't comfortable and confident in my own skin. I wasn't comfortable and confident in who I was as a woman. And so naturally, when I got in relationships, because I wasn't confident in my own identity, I'm trying to figure out, well, who am I? And how do I perform? Or how do I show up? Who is my identity? When you don't have a solid belief and confidence and comfortableness in who you are going to abandon yourself. Clear and simple. So that is one reason we're not comfortable, we're not confident in who we are or in our own skin. Another reason why we may be self-abandoning is because we lack self-trust. It is so huge. You don't trust your internal wisdom. And internal wisdom is your intuition and your instincts. And when you don't trust yourself, when you don't trust your deep inner knowing, when you don't trust your intuition, and when you don't trust your instincts, you're going to be all over the place. And you're going to be believing here. You're going to switch and believe different things because you don't know what you believe. You don't have a grounding and a foundation in who you are and what you think and what your values are. So you're going to switch up. So you abandon yourself when you lack self-trust. Another reason why we abandon ourselves is because we believe that being alone is worse than being mistreated. So a lot of women are in relationships right now where they are being mistreated, where there's low effort, where there's no protection. And I mean, emotional, physical, spiritual protection. There's no provision. A lot of women stay in relationships like that when they are being mistreated because they think that is better than having no one. They think that kind of putting up with cheating and putting up with all kinds of things is better than being alone. And that, again, is a reason why women abandon themselves. They fear being alone more than they fear being mistreated. Another reason why we self-abandon is because we feel like we're not enough. Somewhere in your life, you were taught or told or something happened in your experience that taught you that you weren't enough. You somewhere along your journey learned that it was something deficient about you, that you weren't worthy or aren't enough. And when we don't feel worthy, when we don't feel like we are enough, we'll accept anything, or we'll overcompensate to make sure everybody is at peace and that nothing rocks the boat, because this is a safe space for you. When nobody is mad and nobody is unhappy, you're going to put up and tolerate a lot, because that is what people who self-abandon do. And we do that because we don't feel like we are enough. And so the big question as we move into the third part of this video is, how do we stop? How do we stop abandoning ourselves? Now, the things that I'm going to share with you are the things that I did to stop abandoning myself. And then I'm going to give you a list of practical ways that I lived this out. So the first thing that I had to do to stop abandoning myself was to be honest. I had to admit that I abandoned myself, because that's something hard for people to admit. People who are showing clear signs of self-abandonment, if you ask them, do they abandon themselves, they probably will say no. So I just had to get real honest with myself. I had to get honest that I was showing up in a relationship and I was losing myself. I would acquiesce to what my partner wanted. I would excuse all kind of behaviors. I would ignore all kind of things that I shouldn't have ignored because I wanted to be in this relationship. And I had to one day get honest with myself and say, in order to be in this relationship, you can't fully be you, and you have to make a choice. You can choose yourself or you can choose this relationship. And naturally, I chose myself. So being honest with yourself is key for you healing self-abandonment and you to stop abandoning yourself. Another thing that helped me to stop abandoning myself was understanding the origins of why I self-abandoned. And for me, that meant looking back at childhood. For many of you know, I struggle with anxious attachment from wounds that I got from my mother and my father. So I had mother wounds and I had father wounds. And this is not to shade my parents, because they did the best they could. They nurtured me in the ways that they could, but it wasn't enough for me to be formed and shaped as a confident woman unleashed on the world. I was unleashed with a whole lot of insecurities, and they came from childhood, from my mother wound and my father wound. And I think I'm going to do a video about mother wounds and father wounds, because I don't think that I've done that yet, but it helped me to understand why I was abandoning myself, and getting to the root and the origin of where I learned that I needed external validation, that I needed to prove my worth and all of that. It was so key in healing abandoning myself, healing that self-abandonment need. Another thing that helped me to stop abandoning myself was self-validation. And I learned to do this through reparenting myself and giving myself the nurturing and support and the validation that I needed that I didn't get. And this is something I practice all the time. And so I did that through mirror work, looking in the mirror every day, telling myself that I am valuable, that I am worthy, that I'm lovable, that I'm amazing. And I did that through journaling. Every day I journal, every day I do mirror work. And those are the things that I had to do to stop abandoning myself. Well, that was the third thing. Now, the fourth thing that was really helpful for me to stop abandoning myself was knowing my abandonment triggers. I had to ask myself, and you have to ask yourself, who do you abandon yourself around and why? Why have you given this person, these people, so much power? Why do you trust them over yourself? These are questions that I had to ask myself when I was trying to heal. I had to watch out for those triggers. And to watch out for the triggers, I had to ask myself, who do I abandon myself for? Why? And why have I given them this power and authority over me? That's going to be really helpful. Now, the tools that you can practice daily to help you heal out of abandoning yourself, one is meditation. There are two kinds of meditations that I live by that changed my life completely. One is daily mindful meditation. Now, every day I meditate from anywhere from 20 minutes to 30 minutes. Sometimes could be 40 minutes if I have time and I'm really deep into the meditation. But this is just me being mindful, me centering my day, me being grateful, and me being in touch with who I am. That is mindful meditation that I do every day. Sleep meditation is another meditation that I absolutely subscribe to. And I use sleep meditation when I need to heal something specific. And sleep meditation, I know some people have sent me comments and messages about what is sleep meditation and how do you do it. Sleep meditation is when you are trying to change your subconscious. Now, I want you to know that 5% of our conscious mind runs our life. 5%. 95% of our lives are run by our subconscious mind. The subconscious mind is where your programming is. Whatever you learned as a child or whatever beliefs and values you hold, whether you are mindful of them or not, they are stored in your subconscious. Okay, let me give you an example. I was on a call the other night, and there was a woman who talked about how she wanted to lose weight, and this was a desire that she had, but her behavior didn't align with that desire. So even though she wanted to lose weight, she was still eating like she things she shouldn't have been eating, and eating late at night and doing all the behaviors. So her conscious desire didn't match her behavior and her values, because you're going to act out of your values. So there was a disconnect between what she wanted and her behaviors. And a lot of times it is the programming. I don't care how much you want to do a thing, lose the weight, how much you say you love yourself. If that is not in your subconscious programming, you're always going to acquiesce to your programming. It's just like any computer. If your computer is not programmed, let's say you have a computer that only does Word documents. And I don't know a lot about computers. I'm going to give the best example I can. But if your computer is only set up and only programmed to do Word documents, but you have an Excel spreadsheet that you want to do, I don't care how much you desire to do that Excel spreadsheet, your program is not designed to do that thing. So sleep meditation helps you reprogram your mind, your thoughts, your beliefs, your values, so they align with what you want, so that your behavior and your desire match. And that's why I highly recommend sleep meditation. And again, if you want more information, there is a scientist, I want to say his name is Bill Lipton. I think I said Bruce the first time on one of the videos, but I think his name is Dr. Bill Lipton. I've studied him and followed him. He is in epigenetics, and he will tell you, it will confirm for you that if you want to change something about yourself, you have to change the programming. So I highly recommend sleep meditation and mindful meditation. They will definitely change your life. Another tool that you can practice every day to help you stop abandoning yourself is to speak up. Every day, speak up for yourself, especially when it's uncomfortable. Even if you're not speaking up for yourself, but you have an opinion about something, your views matter. And I want you to practice giving your opinion, even if it's uncomfortable, even if people disagree. I want you to practice using your voice. That will help you to stop abandoning yourself, because you know that your voice matters, your opinions are valid and worth speaking up. Another thing that I want you to practice every single day is taking up space. This is hard to do when you are insecure about who you are, you don't trust yourself, and all the things that abandoning yourself makes you do. But I want you to practice taking up space. Allow yourself to be seen. Show up. Do you. Be authentic. These are all things that you can practice every day to stay true to yourself, and so you can stop abandoning yourself. The fourth thing that I want you to do is be comfortable with other people's unflattering opinions about you. Yes, not everybody's going to like you. And that is just a given. Everyone won't like you, especially people who need you to play small, who likes it when you are quiet and you don't use your voice. And people who need you to be small so they can be big, they're going to have unflattering things to say as you change and transition into a person who does not abandon themselves. So I want you to be mindful anyway, to be comfortable with people who don't have a high opinion of you. It is okay. Everybody is not going to like you. And what people think about you is none of your business. As the saying goes, you don't need everybody to like you. Now, this next one is so huge. To stop abandoning yourself, what you must do is stop judging other people. Yes, to stop abandoning yourself, you have to stop judging other people. And this is because when you judge other people, you are really projecting your insecurities about yourself onto them. That's what judgment is. Judgment is something going on with you and you identified that in somebody else, so you're judging them about that. If you stop judging other people, it will do a world of good for self-acceptance. So let other people do them and you not judge them. And watch how it frees you to not be so self-critical, which is also rooted in abandoning yourself. Now, if you practice these tools, you will be more confident in showing up in every relationship completely authentic. Now, again, this won't happen overnight, but if you are faithful, if you are consistent, you will see a change. And I want that for you. I want that so much for you. And a woman who does these things is a woman who never abandons herself for any reason, including love. Okay? Now, I hope this video was helpful, and please do me a favor and share this video with another woman who may need this kind of support and need this kind of community. Also, go to awakenhernow.com. I also put a link in the description below. But sign up for our email list. I send out weekly emails that uplift and inspire, and tools that you can use to help you become the best version of yourself. So go ahead and do that. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to this channel. And most importantly, don't forget to do the work. Do the work, because that's the only way to awaken the best version of yourself. Now, I want to thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video.